I'm Dr. John McGrail. Welcome to A Better You in a Minute or Two. And today, we're going to talk about one of the most important fundamentals in creating any kind of personal change, growth, or transformation in your life, and that is the power of visualization. You know, I work across the spectrum of human behavior with my clients and my workshop students. I help people get rid of unwanted or unhealthy habits, limiting beliefs, fears, phobias, stress and anxiety, and just creating improved performance at work, at school, or at play. It really doesn't matter. Whatever it is, whatever change we're creating, always begins with creating an image or a vision of what that change is going to look like. I always ask, what is the new you? How do you see that? How does it feel? And until we get that vision, we don't do anything else, because how are you going to know when you get there if you don't have a vision of where you're going? It's the same thing with painting a painting, or creating a piece of sculpture, or building a building. And it's interesting, you know, not very long ago, I had a client come in for their second session. And so I said, well, how was that first week of homework? And part of the first week of homework with every single client, regardless of their issue, is visualizing the new outcome, the new them. And so this particular person said, well, you know, I'm not too fond of that visualization. So I said, well, how come? And the person said, well, it's too woo-woo. So I said, okay, but how are you going to know when you get where you want to be if you don't know what it looks like, if you don't know what it's going to feel like, if you have no idea? How are you going to, for instance, build me a garage? If I say, I want you to build me a 2-car garage, I want gables, I want thatched roof, I want 2 single doors, this is a color I want, could you build that garage without a picture of it? And the person thought and said, well, no. And that's the same thing with creating personal change. Until you have a vision of what you want to create, it's impossible to create it. Now, when you're visualizing, you want to do just like, well, I'll give you an example. Way back when, I was a pretty good ski racer. And when you're learning how to be a ski racer, and if you ever watch the Winter Olympics, I think they're coming on next winter, and you watch the ski racing, you'll see the skiers at the top of the run, they're like this. And they're going back and forth. And they get their eyes closed just like that. And what they're doing is visualizing their run for a couple of reasons. First of all, the subconscious mind is much more powerful than the conscious mind. And once they leave that starting gate, they're going way, way, way too fast to think about the turns they have to make. They want their body to just respond via the vision they've created. Or if you watch the PGA or the LPGA Tour, the professional golfers, you'll always see the top golfers. They stand behind the ball, they visualize the shot they want to hit, which way they want it to curve, whether they want it to go low or high, all that stuff. And then, once they visualize it, then they let their bodies take over. Now, I'm a golfer too, and I visualize every shot I want to hit too, but I do not have the talent that they do. So more often than not, well, sometimes it works, but, you know. However, when you're changing yourself, when you're changing your life, you don't have to worry about that talent. Your subconscious mind will do exactly what you want it to do. And so when you visualize, I don't want you to just see a picture. I want you to hear any sounds that might be attendant to what you're creating. And maybe there's some aromas involved, who knows. But, and most importantly, feel it. Create that feeling of excitement, of anticipation, of delight, of joy. And so when you can see that new you, and you can feel that new you, and you say, oh yes, this is what I want. Oh, you're doing two things. One, you're creating a very powerful thought. And you now know how powerful thoughts can be. When you give a thought power, it creates manifestation. And two, that powerful thought, that vision, that feeling, that energy is doing just that. It's creating an energetic vibration which gets sent out into that marvelous energy field we call the universe. And then the law of attraction kicks in. I've spoken about it many, many times. It's a physical law. The energy you put out has an awful lot to do with the energy you attract back. So the more you put yourself in that energy of that new, powerful, more successful, more calm, focused, whatever it is the sooner the universe is going to send that energy back so it becomes the real you. So, visualize like crazy, feel the delight of it because it feels so good, and watch what happens. Because remember, it's always and always and always and always about a better you. Until next time, so long.